Despite all the wrongs done to her, Adan chose forgiveness over revenge. This teaches that holding on to bitterness only brings more pain, while forgiveness brings peace and freedom. The Forgotten Queen and the Hidden Heir. Once upon a time, in the mighty kingdom of Umadic, King Obayara ruled with wisdom and strength. His heart belonged to his beloved first wife, Adan, a woman of grace and intelligence. But after years of marriage without a child, pressure from his kinsmen forced him to reconsider his lineage. Adan, devoted to her husband and the throne, made a bold decision: she would find him a second wife herself, one as noble and wise as she. Her choice was none other than her best friend, Yugo, a woman she trusted with her life. The marriage was arranged, and soon, Yugo became the second wife of the king. But what began as a bond of friendship soon turned to bitterness and jealousy. When Yugo conceived a child, her joy turned into hatred for Adan. With the influence of her mother, she plotted against the first wife, poisoning the king's mind with lies and deceit. When tragedy struck and Yugo lost her child, she accused Adan of witchcraft. Blinded by grief and manipulation, King Obayara cast Adan aside, stripping her of her rights as queen. Seeking a son to inherit his throne, the king took 5 more wives, each bearing him children, but none gave him the heir he longed for. Meanwhile, Adan, once the most cherished, was now forgotten, left with the scraps of the palace. Yet she remained humble, her heart pure, her prayers unceasing. One fateful night, after drowning his sorrows in wine, King Obayara stumbled into Adan's humble quarters, unaware of where he had gone. That night, destiny took its course. By morning, shame and anger overtook him, and in his rage, he ordered Adan to be thrown out of the palace. Alone and forsaken, Adan sought refuge in the depths of the forest, where she bore a son, the true heir to the throne. Fearful of what might happen if his existence was known, she raised him in secrecy, teaching him wisdom, strength, and the ways of the gods. Years passed, and Umadic fell into turmoil. A great calamity struck, and the kingdom stood on the brink of destruction. The gods were summoned, and their message was clear: only the rightful heir could restore balance to the land. As the truth unravels and the past comes to light, will King Obayara realize his greatest mistake? And will justice finally be served for the Forgotten Queen?